Desperate owners, unable to sell. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, and let's have a look at this article from Domain. Well, putting a human face to some of the people that are desperate to sell, but are unable to because of the restrictions in Melbourne. We've discussed it when we were looking at the, well, pretty much decimation of, well, even more than decimation, 5x decimation of the real estate industry in Victoria, where you can't even do private inspections. And they had systems and procedures in place to allow them to manage that. And I know it was quite difficult for a lot of people watching to feel sorry for real estate agents. Some of them were in a tough situation. They were having, feeling sorry for real estate agents probably for the first time in their lives. And this piece is discussing, well, the impact on people who are desperate to sell. What if you need to sell? What if the bank is tapping you on the shoulder saying, mate, time to get out? And let's have a look at this article, because we've got a few interesting ones to look at. I thought we'd start the day with this one about trapped in Melbourne, people unable to sell. Then we've got another one about buyers swarming on property. And another one about Victorians fleeing and all heading north. So you really get mixed messages from the news. It's quite entertaining looking at all the different property spruikers. I think every single thing is a part of the story and done for a different reason. This is obviously putting a human face on the toll of the real estate restrictions to try and push for more freedom and ability to do business, which frankly I agree with. They should be able to, really. So, honestly, you're going to have more control over someone doing an inspection of a house than a whole lot of people going to Woolies or to SeaWorld or to shop at Bunnings. But, that's just how life is, isn't it? The trapped Melbourne homeowners who can't buy or sell as the property market remains closed. Natalie Brennan has not got through the past 7 months by collapsing in a heap on the floor, but speaking through the phone from her home in Berwick, her voice wobbles as she tells her story, and it's difficult to imagine how she is still standing. It goes without saying that 2020 has been a year of intense struggle for anyone living in Melbourne. But for Miss Brennan, whose 49-year-old husband Gerard suffered 2 strokes, one in February and one in July, it has been emotionally and financially crippling. Oh no. Oh, poor guy. Only 49 too. 49 too. He's not that. 49 isn't that old, guys, to be having some strokes. My father had several strokes at the last 10 years of his life, really. I suspect a lot of it was cigarettes catching up to him, all the smoking he used to do when he was on the site. Not only did Gerard have another stroke in July, he also lost his job as a forklift driver for a major pharmaceutical company. By the time Melbourne went into stage 4 lockdown in August, the family were down to one single part-time income, with soaring medical expenses, 2 children at home, and no one to help with Mr. Brennan's care. They made the heartbreaking decision to sell their house to try to reduce their debt, but quickly discovered it was going to be near impossible with the Victorian government's ban on private inspections. They decided to hang on until September 14, when it was expected the restrictions would be eased enough to allow private inspections again. In the meantime, Miss Brennan worked up to 7 days a week to try and support the family, leaving her 2 children, Alana 14 and Aiden 12, at home to care for their father. I've drilled it into the kids to call an ambulance if there's something wrong with Dad. It's pretty sad that we have to do this, but we're not allowed to have anyone come in and help, and I'm just trying to make ends meet. The mortgage still has to be paid, and the bills keep coming in, she said. I mean, this is a tough situation to be in. It really is heartbreaking for the family. And the poor dad. I mean, that's the smart thing to teach your kids, to get them to call an ambulance. That's what you have to do if you're in a situation like that. I mean, and too bad, in Victoria, they charge you for the ambulance, don't they? My mum has been giving us her pension to help us buy food. It's absolutely desperate times. When Premier Dan Andrews announced a week ago the restrictions will be extended and private inspections not allowed until October 26, she said she broke down. I was gutted just absolutely gutted, she said. I know there's other people in bad situations as well, but it's a struggle. I don't know. Your situation's sounding pretty tough. It's sounding pretty tough. But it's. I mean, that's always the way when people go through tough times. They always, think, oh well, it could be worse. It's that, I don't need that help. We can go. We can push through. It's all me. He can't work. He can't drive. I'm doing everything. Going to work. I'm doing the shopping. Working out all the bills, trying to keep us afloat, hanging on. Her voice cracks, it's all me. To some, the ban on one-on-one property inspections may sound trivial. But for the thousands of Melburnians suffering genuine hardship, another 6 weeks of the real estate market inactivity will only deepen their financial strain. I mean, this is putting a human face to a side of these lockdowns. And good on, I know this is done. Domain are doing this to try and push for more activity in the real estate sector. But good on them for stepping up and sharing their story like this, because we need to see what the impact of these restrictions are on people, normal people. This is affecting their lives. This is affecting their ability to push through. It's another weight on them when they're dealing with their husband and father suffering from a stroke and need to help him. That's what the government is doing. Stephen Dullan, CEO of Ray White Victoria in Tasmania, said the issue affected not only buyers and sellers but renters too. No one can expect anything, and there would literally be hundreds and thousands of people who have lost their jobs and are struggling with mortgages or struggling with rent, and this has left them completely in limbo, he said. Of course, there are a lot of people in Melbourne who can wait, but there are some who genuinely can't. They're in genuine financial distress, or there's illness or divorce. This is about so much more than the real estate industry. It's about the basic human need of shelter. This is what happens, guys, when the government just steps in. It's stuff like this. Is this worth the price we're paying? Is it worth it? Is this price worth it, everyone? Domain contacted the Department of Health and Human Services Victoria last week requesting further explanation of the health advice behind the continued ban on private inspections, but a DHHS spokesperson did not provide details of why they couldn't resume before October 26th. This is the thing. I mean, it is ludicrous, just these restrictions. When you see the methodology that the agents had in place to manage the risk, apparently you can be going all through Aldi shopping, but nope, you can't have one person going through a house and then you clean it and manage it. Open up the windows. Throughout the pandemic, every change we made to restrictions is guided by data and advice from the Chief Health Officer, the spokesperson said. That's the thing. It's always passing the buck, isn't it? Passing it to another authority. Even the Premier is passing the buck. And what if the assumptions or the modelling done by the Chief Health Officer is wrong? Will they be held to account? Will they be personally liable? Will they lose their home? All real estate activity in metropolitan Melbourne must continue to be carried out online. This includes auctions and open for inspections. In regional Victoria, auctions must be online and property inspections by appointment only. Ms. Brennan said the ban made absolutely no sense. I get really angry because I see thousands of people shopping at Coles, but we can't have a single person at the house for an inspection because that's unsafe, she said. Exactly. It's just utter stupidity. That's what it is. If the government changed their mind now and let us do private inspections, it would mean everything. It would mean people could come through our house, see it, and buy it. Yeah, that's the other side of the story. What if they don't get much? What if they don't get what they paid? I hope they're in positive equity. I really do. We get ourselves out of this situation and try and move on with our lives. Mike McCarthy, CEO of Barry Plant, said people were accepting of the first 6 weeks of the inspection ban, but only with the horizon at the end. The news we would be locked down until October 26th was just a crushing blow to people looking to buy, sell, or rent. Mr. McCarthy said heartbreaking stories of people needing to buy or sell for economic reasons continue to emerge daily. We've got someone who had 2 businesses go bankrupt during COVID-19 and now needs to urgently sell the family home before the bank takes it. And can't because 99% of people won't buy a property without being able to inspect it, he said. I mean, that's just gut-wrenching. How many businesses is this destroying? How many livelihoods is this destroying? And here's the thing, people are going to assign so much wealth to the importance to these material possessions that they're going to end it all. They're going to get so desperate. I mean, there needs to be a thorough... I just hope we have the capacity in years future to look back on this and be very critical. I hope we're still allowed to. I hope it's not compelled speech. You go to jail if you criticize the COVID response. There's a lot of people who can see the writing on the wall and want to sell in a controlled way to maximize the sale price, to pay off my debts and start rebuilding their lives. They've been denied that in Melbourne right now, when the real simple solution is that contactless one-on-one inspections would resolve the most desperate cases. I mean, everything Victoria's doing seems like it's overkill. This is not about getting the property market back to normal. This is all about the people out there who are suffering genuine hardship. Among them is Glenn Waverley, antiques dealer Lynn Davenport, who desperately needs to move. The single mother with a 12-year-old daughter on the spectrum sold her home through Ray White Rosebud after her marriage broke down, and it doesn't settle until mid-November. I cannot move until my home settles on November 17, but I also cannot look at other properties until October 26, said the owner of the Waverley Bazaar, which she has owned for the past 15 years. The antique shop has been closed for months, and Miss Davenport has no income. The shop is an hour's drive from her home, which means she cannot even do online sales. Wow. I cannot pack up the house because I don't know what's happening. I was thinking of making a new start in Ballarat or Bendigo, but I'm not buying a property over the internet. I have to walk inside, she said. I think Dan Andrews is trying to do his best, but there's a lot of people in my position who need to do private inspections one-on-one to view property. I'm not looking for a handout, just some dispensation. Well, no, he's not doing his best. It's okay to be critical of the Supreme Leader. We still have that freedom. We still have that right. You're not forced to hang pictures up on your walls yet, guys, of the Premier. Not yet. You can still be critical. It's okay. So what do you think, everyone? What do you think? I mean, it's good that it's putting a human face on some of the impacts of these restrictions. Just think how many other things are not going reported and how much else how significant these impacts are. As always, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there's a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, have a great day. I'll see you next time.